Hi guys, it's John here. I am back from my holiday and I thought I would do a slightly different video today, and this is just an earnings update, but I'm not going to do a separate one for each different project. I'll just do a sort of combined one here, as you can see, and yeah, hopefully this will be more useful, or if not, do let me know down below, but you can obviously just skip to the relevant project that you're interested in. I'll put some time codes in the description below. So what I'll do is just run down each project here in order. I've ordered them in the amount they have earned in US dollars from highest to lowest, and we'll just go through each project and see exactly how they're getting on. So the number one project this month is Yield Nodes, and that is, as you can see, my largest investment. Now this does include some affiliate earnings as well. This isn't all my own money, so I'm just trying to be as open and transparent as possible. But the March earnings for this month were 976 euros. So as we can see here, I can now withdraw 976 euros, or I can pop this back in and get this up higher to the 15,000 euro mark. I'm trying to see if I can get up to around £1,200 a month, which is around 1,500 euros or so. But yeah, Yield Nodes has done really well. Again, in March, we got 7.4%. So this is still my favorite project, and it has been for a little while now. It's just very consistent. So I've got plenty of videos on Yield Nodes, which I will obviously link down below. But this is our system where we deposit money into a masternode balance. This is withdrawable again after 6 months. It gets locked up for 6 months. So you can start with an initial balance of 500 euros. They then masternode your money, and you get a part of the profit that they get each month. So like I said, I've gone into more detail into this in other videos, but yeah, for this month, 7.4%, really happy with that. Considering how bad the rest of the market's doing, I think this is a pretty good result, to be honest. Since January, we've been hovering around the 8% mark or so for each month. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the result this month. So don't forget, you can currently only withdraw in Bitcoin or Sapcoin. Now they have emailed recently to say that the USDT withdrawal feature is coming soon. That will be on the Tron network here, and hopefully that'll be active by the end of the month. So that's good to know that you'll soon be able to withdraw in USDT. So next up was my Helium Miner, and this has ROI'd now. As you can see here, I've marked it as a yes. So I managed to cash out when the Helium token was around just under $26 or $25, and I cashed out just over 1,000, and I've put that into my uHodler account just temporarily as BUSD, just to get it earning some interest. But yeah, now it's ROI'd, everything coming from it for the future is now an added bonus. So in March, 14.7 Helium, which is about $300. So it's still performing really well. As you can see here, compared to the network average, it's doing really well. And I do have the advantage that I am on the side of a very tall hill. But yeah, it's good to know that this is just sort of sat there up in my loft doing its thing, and I can just sit back. That's a nice little number there, $300, about $10 a day or so. I do still keep track of this in my spreadsheet here, which I've linked down below as well. I just add on every week to see how much I have mined in Helium, and then I can work out exactly how much I've earned in total. So as you can see, we've already ROI'd on this one. I've got all the details here about my setup if you do want to check it out, and there are obviously videos that I've done on this and down below. Okay, so next up is EasyBlock, and my current investment, it's a huge investment of $3,000, and I only earned $265 back in March, so it's not a huge amount because the fact the Strong token almost went down to around $40, I think it is around that now. They've now moved on to Stronger, and the EasyBlock team have updated now and transferred everything over to the Stronger token. So not that that's helping much. As you can see, the Stronger token itself is really struggling. It's a bit of a shame really. So I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with this one, but we have now reached 300 nodes on the EasyBlock site. So that does mean that there will be payouts every 5 days from each wallet. So in theory, the revenue should increase very slightly, although obviously it's not looking too good at the moment. So the next payout for EasyBlock is tomorrow, and I should get around $20, which again I am updating, keeping a record of here on my own offline spreadsheet. So the ROI is looking pretty bad here, But again, it's just one of those things I will just leave and it will just sit there, slowly getting to its ROI over the next year or so. Hopefully, like I say, if the price increases, then we will hopefully get a better ROI than 571 days. So next up is HoneyGain, and it's a bit hard to tell the credits that are being earned here, but I've estimated it's around 96,000. I did a quick calculation, and with my 4 nodes I did over 28 days, I just doubled it basically. It came to around 96,000. So that, again, it's hard to tell exactly how much that's worth because they're now in jump tokens and that does fluctuate a bit. So I've just estimated it's around $96. It can be a bit more or a bit less, and that does obviously include the fact that we are currently getting the jump task bonus, which is a 50% gift on top. So this would probably drop down a bit when that bonus disappears. I'm not sure when that will happen. I guess it'll be in the next few months or so. Now, sadly with HoneyGain, I came back from my holiday and saw that my other 2 VMs here were showing as offline. I couldn't work out what was going on. And sadly, it looks like you can now only have 1 node per IP address. So sadly, my other 2 nodes are now pretty much redundant. I'll leave them running anyway, just in case one of these goes offline and the other will pick it up. But yeah, it's a shame that they have now gone down to 1 node per IP. So I do expect my HoneyGain earnings to go down as well. And obviously, I do get referral bonuses from people who sign up using my link, as well as you getting the $5. So this is just with my own nodes. I'm not including referrals here, which would obviously increase this. This is a more realistic sort of calculation if you were to set up your own nodes yourself. Now again, because of the fact I've got 2 IP addresses, 2 separate internet connections, you can probably halve this at least, maybe even a bit less than say $50, maybe about $30 a month if you're running this on your own with that jump task 50% extra bonus, which when that disappears you'll be looking at around $15 to $20 a month. But still, for something that sits there and just works away in the background, $15 to $20 a month isn't really that bad. I wouldn't complain about that at all. So next up is PlanetWatch, and over March I received 594 tokens in total. That's for my 2 aware elements, and that comes to around $51. So they have already paid themselves back, and I actually purchased my Aquino with the planets that they earned over the time that I've had them. So all my planets went to pretty much 0, and I've started again now. But my Aquino is on order, and I know that they have stopped the aware element being officially supported, which is a bit of a shame really. I'm sure they'll work something out, but yeah, it seems to have been a bit of a problem that they had with the aware team and their agreement, so they do no longer support the aware element. It's still unclear as to what's going to happen in the next 30 days, but they are currently just paying 5.4 planets a day if you already have your aware set up. And if you did already purchase a license before they announced this, you can contact their support and get yourself set up to receive those 5.4 planets. But if it's only for 30 days, we don't know what's going to happen afterwards. So yeah, I don't really know what to say about that. But if you have got one, I would still set it up anyway, just because if they do think of another way of earning planets with those devices, then you'll have one set up and ready to go. So SCPrime, I earned 32.8 SCP in total, which is around $16.5. So my Windows provider here, it's got the most space used, 375 gigs, and it also received the most SCP, 19.2. So my Linux one here, which I've still got set up as 5 and 5, it only received 13.6 SCP, and it only has 218 gigabytes in use. So we can see here I've popped this into my SCP tracker, and we can see between each one here $9 and $6, which is an increase from last month of 88%. So it's steadily going up over the months, as is the gigabytes that are being used up. But I will make a separate video on the new licensing requirements that are coming out for these, because we do need to start looking into that before the end of April. So I'm going to be looking at that this weekend. But yeah, overall in March, $16.5 there, which isn't too bad. So next, we're going to be moving on to the incentives going down to 95. So we'll be potentially slightly less. We'll see what happens as they decrease, obviously, as the year goes on. Now, they haven't met the ROI yet. I have spent a good £300 at least I just estimated that. So it's going to take a while to get that back, but I'm not overly worried, particularly as those two computers can also be used for other things as well. So peer to profit, I've estimated around $20 here. Again, I'm excluding any referrals because I do get referral traffic, which isn't a realistic figure to put in because most people, won't have 100 referrals, for example. So I've put in at about $20 for my 2 nodes. I've got 2 nodes set up on 2 separate IPs. So if you've only got 1 node, you can put that to about $10 per month, which is $120 a year, obviously, which is a nice, again, you can stick these things either on a Raspberry Pi, as we went through with the Linux, Android Raspberry Pi, or you could stick peer to profit on your SCPrime Windows box, and the EarnAp as well could go on here. So if you combine things together, obviously you're using the same amount of power, or you're using the same system at least. So my Mysterium nodes are still running, and yeah, they're still doing pretty poorly, sadly. Only earning $1.10 in March. So as you can see here, they're really just not doing much at all. I did look on the Discord the other day on Mysterium to see if, what was going on. And they have announced some new partnerships that they're trying to work on. So potentially there'll be some more traffic coming our way at some point. But again, I'm just leaving these there and they can do whatever they like. I have just updated this one a bit earlier on. But yeah, it's not really doing much, hence why it's at the very bottom here at $1.10. Last but not least is the AnimalFarm. So I put $250 into here to start earning some dogs and pigs, and then someone was abusing the contract, and so everything's been on hold since then. Now Forex Shark has been doing a AMA this afternoon, which seemed to be going on for ages. I did start listening to it, but he seemed to be rambling on about things rather than just getting to the point, which it was going for a good few hours at least. So I gave up with that, but hopefully things will get back on track. I know he knows what he's doing. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll be reopening soon and we can start earning a bit more from there. Now, I haven't done any videos on AnimalFarm because I hadn't actually earned or made anything useful from it. So there was no point really making a video on that at all until something useful comes out of it. So those are all the main projects that I'm running at the moment. And you can see the total dollars here is 1,690, which is £1,294. So obviously the big chunk of that coming from yield nodes. So the main earners here, excluding the big one here at the top, which is a huge investment, for a smaller investment of around $3,300, which is around £2,500. I say that's small, it is still quite a large amount. You can earn back $565 a month. So that's a return on your investment in around 6.5 to 7 months, which isn't bad really. Sadly, because of Strong being so down in the dumps, this has plummeted quite badly. I was getting around $80 to $90 per week with this, but now it's gone down to about $20 to $23 per 5 days. So it's a bit of a shame really, but that is how crypto goes. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please do like and subscribe. Leave any questions you have down below and I'll try my best to answer them. I'll put affiliate links down to each of these projects down in the description if you want to sign up to them. I do highly recommend HoneyGain and Peer to Profit especially, because these are ones that are free to get into, and you could earn a good $20 a month probably between the two of them with just a single computer. So it's worth doing that, definitely. If you have got a bit of money to put down as well, I would certainly recommend getting into yield nodes. Again, link down in the description below, and you can check out my other videos where I go over that in more detail. If you're lucky enough to be able to find or get a Helium Miner, then obviously that's also a no-brainer. I did spend a lot on my setup initially. As you can see, that's £1,000, but it is now paying off quite nicely, where I'm earning $300 a month for doing absolutely nothing. So if you do prefer this style of video, do let me know as well, because I am happy to make separate videos for each one if necessary. Yield nodes is a good one to make a separate video on normally, because they do have separate news and updates to the site, which are quite interesting. So I might go over that again when the USDT withdrawal comes out, and they are bringing out some new bits and pieces too, which will be quite interesting. Helium, it's just sat there doing its own thing, so that's fine. EasyBlock, they have gone into Phoenix Fire nodes now, so they'll be coming out soon. I will make a video on that. PlanetWatch, we will do some more videos when the Kino comes, and obviously SCPrime when we get our license set up. So don't forget to like and subscribe. You can click the join button and that helps out the channel as well. And again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.